All right, cool. So we are recording. So happy Monday to everybody. I would be remiss if we didn't start out with a little bit of music, and then I'm gonna have one of you guys bring us out on the field today. So let's do this. Let's get up. I'm actually dressed for the day. You guys, I even have fancy shoes on today. Like I'm already ready for the day. And normally I'm in my gym shorts. So let's everyone stand up really quick with me. All right, let's get a little music in our veins.
Everybody get up.
Oh, Jack's got the moves. All right, you could tell that Joaquin was a cholo back in the days because the music comes on and he's like, "Orale."
Cholo lean, right? What's it called?
he's leaning like a cholo. I like it. I like it, bro. That's, you know what? I remember going like 14 years old and going to like a family reunion, and I was just standing there, you know, just leaning and rocking with it like a cholo, man. So good to see everybody. God, Kenny and I came back from the most incredible leadership and recruiting summit for 2 days. I feel like I learned so much in 2 days. Like I could have been there for a week, but like we came out with copious amounts of notes, great relationships, and really a vision of where we are going and an assessment of where we're at. And I think that it's important for us as a leadership team to really look at where we are and where we want to go. But before we get started, I just want to make a public declaration to each of you. And this is important, and this is me being super, super humble and vulnerable. I just wanted to apologize. And the reason why I want to apologize is I want to apologize if at any point up to this time of us working together that you felt maybe I have fallen a little bit short, or perhaps I haven't done everything that I should be doing to truly support you and help you be accountable, right? Accountability comes totally from within. And sometimes leaders need to help you realize what is truly inside of you. And so I want to apologize if any time I've let you down, and if I haven't helped you to reach your own potential, if I haven't helped you, understand what you are truly accountable for and what you are working towards. And so I want to apologize. As we have grown, we went from 12 agents to, close to 120 agents. And we know that we are not perfect. Kenny and I know that we have made mistakes along the way. We know that, our time has been, pulled in all kinds of different directions. So I just wanted to say that, as a humble leader, I understand that there's areas where we can improve and get better for you guys. And that's part of this, right? Going to a seminar sometimes is not just hearing all this great stuff and learning. It's really about taking a journey inward. And it's taking a journey inward so you could become a better person for the people that you are around. And so that's my commitment to you guys, is that we go into this new era as we really, refocus and really restate our vision as a company, that you guys know that, we, and myself, I'll speak for myself, apologize for any time that I may have fallen short. And that's part of growing pains, right? We grew massively. And sometimes when you grow, you're going to have a little bit of pain. But I tell you what, I'm okay with that. Right? I'm okay with that. I've learned from that. And so I just wanted to make a public declaration to each of you guys and apologize if I've fallen short in any way, shape, or form. And now it's time that we level up and get even better as a company and get better as a team. So I just want to start off with that. I want to turn it over to Kenny. Kenny, I know, man, we have been in the trenches the last couple of days. Welcome home. So I want to turn it over to you for a minute.
Okay, I was prepared for this. Yeah, the summit was great. It was a lot about, I guess talking to how to really keep agents accountable and talking about how culture can shift, and always a lot of it was like personal responsibility and accountability was the biggest two things I picked up. People who aren't taking responsibility of their own actions and their own results are usually not successful in pretty much anything they do. And this morning got me thinking a lot about, like, just because then a lot of people just came back from Melky went to the Cabo 2.0 event in Scottsdale. So this isn't the exact event I went to, but everything was like recruiting. Like, it's funny how like we're all, well, two things, people want to make NFL money and major league money, but they're not willing to put in all that type of work, right? You realize NFL players and, players, they're on the field for only like an hour, but they're practicing in the gym like 40 hours a week to play for an hour. And that's why about money. But agents, they want to just show up and jump into a buyer showing with zero experience, or, I want to get listings with absolutely no experience, no training, which is kind of crazy. Another thing about like, major league players, we're all super excited when we see someone get drafted. You literally will spend the entire day, fantasy football, watching the draft, but yet agents aren't treated the same. If agents are talented, they should be excited that there's people out there seeking to work with them to get them on the championship team. So that really like spun around the thinking. I picked that up from the other event that I've been reading the notes from, not from our event. So I think more and more people are open to what recruiting means. You really truly are trying to help people get into the right team, and then people that are good should be identified and be seeked out.
Absolutely. I mean, so tons of great stuff that we learned that we're going to be implementing, and I think for us, what we're going to move into, and I made some notes here, you guys, so I'm going to reflect on some of my notes for our meeting today. We're going to move into an era of ruthless personal responsibility. Let me say that again. We're going to move into an era of ruthless personal responsibility, right? When we, have shortfalls in our business, this is no one else's fault but ours, right? Ours. Like, this is ruthless personal responsibility. If something is not working in your business, if you did not reach the money that you wanted to reach, if you did not close the amount of deals, if you did not make the amount of calls, we need to own that, right? And we also are going to own our success. But being able to walk into an era of true ruthless personal responsibility, I think it's going to help us all level up, right? What we're going to do in the coming weeks is that we're going to roll out more accountability groups, and these are going to be self-led, meaning it's going to be a group of your peers. Kenny and I are not even going to be a part of that. You guys are going to come together. You can opt in, or you guys cannot be there, but I take it you guys are all winners, and you're going to want to be a part of accountability groups, right? That's why you show up to group coaching. So we're going to move into truly holding each other accountable. But accountability is not like, hey, get your numbers to Kenny and I every single week. That's not accountability. Accountability needs to come from deep within and really, really move you. This is not about, oh, tell me how many calls you made. Did you make your 20 calls that I asked you to make? No, because that's our numbers, right? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We are going to hold ourselves accountable, not to what we want, but rather what we are truly committed to. I want you guys to think about that, right? When you are truly committed to something, no matter what is happening, you are going to make sure that you are going to hit that goal. And I love, I think Pamela is on a goal right now to hit a certain amount of weight loss, right? So let's take it from that context. If you guys are committed to your body, if you're committed to living a life of vitality, if you're living in a way that you don't want to get sick, if you don't want to have the propensity to possibly get cancer, whatever other illness is out there, do you feel that you're going to work with a certain level of commitment each and every day to make sure that you are going to lose that weight so you could have a longer life, right? Is that fair to say? You guys are going to work at a higher level? Right? Because you have children, you have grandbabies, you want to live a life of vitality, you want to be able to share those experiences with them. So you're going to work even harder, right? It's the same thing in our business. And let me ask a question. This is a vulnerable question. I get it, you guys. How many of you have ever let me ask this in a better way. How many of you have ever fallen short of any commitments that you've made in your business career? Please raise your hand. How many of you have ever made excuses for the things that you did not do in your business, right? How many of you have fallen short of a real estate or business goal in your life, right? Everything that you will attest that to is probably because you failed to commit and execute, right? You can have this grand vision, but am I committed to that? Right? Does it haunt me? Somebody said that the other day. Does it haunt you? Right? This meeting haunts me. You guys, not in a bad way, and I'm scared. Oh my God. This meeting haunts me, that I want to make sure that I'm here, that I arrive for you guys, that I'm up at least 2 hours before I even get on the mic. Right? That shit's important to me. I'm thinking, I'm writing copious amounts of notes to make sure that I'm here for you guys, right? Because it's a commitment. I'm committed to the growth of this company, but more so, I'm committed to the growth of our agent population, right? My success in this role is you guys. That's it. If you guys are growing, succeeding, and reaching the level of success that you want and the lifestyle that you want for your family, for your kids, for your freedom, whatever that looks like to you, that's my legacy and that's my success. And so I'm committed to making sure that I stand out in front and support you guys and help you in any way that I possibly can. So thank you guys for being vulnerable. I appreciate you raising your hands. I want you guys to do a quick exercise with me, but I see a couple hands raised. Did you guys have a question, or was it just a reaction? I see Martinique, Ashley, Lamont, a few people raise their hand. Christina,
Reaction.
a reaction. Okay. Christina, did you have a question? Lamont, Ashley?
No, it was just reaction.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. All right, guys, let's do this. I want you guys to take out a piece of paper for me, just a blank piece of paper. And I want you guys to do a quick exercise with me. On the piece of paper, I want you guys to make a vertical line and a horizontal line right in the center of that. Just do that for me really quick. And then let me know when you guys are done. Just give me a reaction, give me a thumbs up, give me something. And if you're driving to school, we'll be doing this again. PK, happy birthday. Is it your husband's birthday?
It is 34.
Oh, how cool. How cool. It's Jen's daughter's birthday today. She's, yeah, she's 9 years old today. So happy birthday.
Birthday, yes.
All right, guys. So let me know when you guys are ready. You guys are ready? You guys are good? Jack, did you get yours? Jack, did you write on yours?
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blank piece of paper. All right. Top left corner of your square, I want you to put number 1, and I want you to put next to it truth. Right below in the square, right below that, I want you to put number 2, and that's reflections. To the right of reflections on the bottom right, I want you to write revision. And then the top right corner, I want you to put number 4, and right next to number 4, I want you to put micro commitments. All right, so this is going to be an exercise. We don't have
quadrants one more time.
Yep.
Sorry.
So first left corner will be truth. The bottom left will be reflections. The bottom right will be revision. Top right will be micro commitments. That will be number 4. So it basically goes like this. So it's like full circle. All right, so you guys, this is going to be an exercise that we don't necessarily need to be completed today, but this is something I want you to work on, and we're going to recap on this on Wednesday, because this is going to take a journey inward. So the number 1 for truth, this is what you want to think about, your numbers right now. So think about your numbers and what is the reality of your business right now? What is the truth behind your numbers, and where are you at currently? Number 2, what do the numbers tell about you? And this is an opportunity for you to get really, really granular with what are you doing in your business to push yourself to grow, to develop new skill sets. Number 3, based on your observations of 1 and 2, where do you want to go now? And let me explain this. So for example, say I wanted to hit a certain amount of numbers by a certain amount of time. Well, that time is now passed. I wanted to hit 15 deals in the first 3 months of the year, but I only did 2, right? So now it's time for us to reshape, revision, and really get refocused on what it is. So based on your observations, where do you want to go now, right? And lastly, on number 4, it's the visions are built on and backed up by commitments. So I want you guys to look at everything that you guys are doing right now, and I want you guys to ask yourself, what am I committed to doing? And here's what I want you to do in a little subcategory, or put it on the bottom somewhere. First off, what is my reflection date range? how far am I looking back? If you're a new agent and you don't have much context, but this will be a good exercise for you guys moving forward. So what is the date range? Am I ranging this from January 1st of this year? Am I doing this from the last 30 days? Am I doing that for the last 60 days? Because what I've seen in a lot of agents is that in a blink of an eye, they fucking changed everything. They showed up in a different way. They committed in a different way. They hit the phones in a bigger way, right? They showed up to more group meetings every single week, right? So you can choose that time period of reflection date range. Now, revision date range, right? How long are you going to focus on this new revision, this new realignment, right? Whether that's 2 months, whether that's the next 30 days, this is what I am going to do, right? And I want you to really, really look at that and say, this is what I'm going to do. Sometimes it's, as a company, and you guys are a business owner, you just have to have a quick stop, reassess everything, and then recommit and get realigned with what your vision is. Because here's what we find a lot of times in business, you guys. A lot of times people have a vision, but it is not backed up by commitment, and it's not backed up by action. So it's like, am I really truly committed to this? Or did I just throw something out there because someone was prompting me to give them an answer, right? That's not accountability, right? If Kenny and I did that, we would be doing you guys a disservice, right? So PK, tell me, so what do you want to do? So let's just get some numbers out there. Do you want to make $200,000 a year? Yeah. Do you want to be able to travel with your family? I mean, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, write that down. Okay, cool, awesome. What do you need to do? So let's do this, PK. You need to make 50 calls a week. Can you do that? Yeah, I can do that. All right, cool. And you can do text messages every day, 10 of them? I can do that. Right. So she leaves that meeting like somewhat excited, but none of that was her. That was me. That was Kenny saying, this is what you should be doing. This is not a should. This is not a why. This is what are you committed to doing and creating in your business? And what are you going to back that up with daily? There was a question that I was asked in our session the other day, that if you had the year of success that you wanted to have right now, just say 1 year, what would that do for your life? What would that do for your life? And who would that affect in your life in a positive way? What things would you be able to create for others in your life? Right? I saw Cynthia's video yesterday and I thought it was super powerful because she's like, I want to be able to say to my family, like, I got you. If I got a niece or nephew that needs a little bit of money or just needs a little pep talk or just needs something in their life, like, I got you, right? My mom, I want to be able to do something for my mom, take her on trips, send her some money, pay her rent for a few months, whatever the case is, right? Those are the things that I want to do. So if they're coming from you, then it's real. This is, and that's the difference between true personal accountability versus Kenny and I saying, hey, why don't you guys do these things? Cool, you on board? Awesome, counting on you. Let's report back next week. It's fleeting. It's not going to have as much impact as if it came from deep within. So let's go over this one more time. Top left corner is the truth, right? My numbers. Number 2, bottom left corner. What do the numbers tell about you right now? And if you're new, obviously this would be a work in progress. 3, bottom right corner. Based on your observations, where do you want to go now? Keyword there is now. Where do I want to go right now? Because it might have been different to where you were 30 days ago, 90 days ago, 120 days ago. And then 4, what are the micro commitments that I am committed to doing on a daily basis in order for me to reach what my true goals are, my true potential? Think about it that way, you guys. I'm going to ask you a question and let's go around what is the first quadrant? It's a truth. And the truth, I'm just answering a question, Rosa, is truth is your numbers, right? What's the reality and current state of your business? Be honest with yourself, right? And there's no wrong answer here. If you have one deal, that's okay because then you have room for growth, right? If you have 20 deals, cool. What am I going to do to sustain that? What's next level for me, right? So it's okay wherever you guys are at. So I want to ask you guys a question and be really, really honest and you know, kind of had some thoughts on this. what is one thing that you have committed to over the last 90 days? Or say, excuse me, what is something that you wanted to do in your business over the last 90 days that you did not execute on, and why? I want to know, and I want you guys to be humble enough to share with me. If you don't speak up, I'll probably just call on you. So feel free to dive right in on that question.
I'll go. I know
Please.
that the very first thing that I would say is I'm 100% not doing video. And it's gotten to the point where people reach out to me and they're like, where have you been? We miss your face. Like, how come you're not doing any more video? And so I promised myself that I would do 1 video a day. And that's like only happening a couple times a week. And so I just need to get better at, like, regardless of if I have the energy or not, just like get on there and show my real mood and my real personality and what's raw and authentic, and just not care what people think, which I really don't care what people think already, but it's just like that 1% in the back of my mind, you know? So that, and then, yeah, just being consistent with video.
So is that something that you want to do, or that something that you're absolutely 100% committed to doing?
Absolutely 100% committed.
You know, and I want to take this a step further for you, Mel. How many of your clients or potential clients are getting video from you? Personal videos, text message videos?
None.
And so who knows the breakdown of communication? Does anybody know the percentages of communication and how communication is conveyed? Does anyone know those percentages? Okay, so 7% of communication is what? Spoken word, right? The words that we use. 38% of it is voice tone, right? 55% of communication is body language and physiology. How are they going to see any of your body language if you're not sending them a video saying, what's up? Hank, I haven't talked to you in 3 freaking months, and I just want to see how the heck are you? You know my business is built on referrals and helping families in the community, so I know that you and I had such a great relationship. Who else do you know that is fighting right now to buy a home, and can I help them out? I would love to serve them just like I did you and your wife. And you know, by the way, hopefully the kids are doing well off to their first, second year of college. Hey, hit me up or to send me a video. It's really good to talk, or just really good to connect with you. That right there is so much more powerful. Hey guys, just want to send you this report. It's a list of reports. It's going to give you an update of what's going on in the market. And sincerely yours, respectfully, Melody Shahid. Hit the link below if you want to connect with me, right? That's good, but taking it to another level. So Melody, thank you for being vulnerable and answering that question. I want to turn it over to anybody else who wants to answer that question and be completely transparent and open in this environment.
I
Oh, I love that. I love that. At the same time, someone said, well, with a little bit of apprehension in their voice, take it away, whoever the heck that was.
know, go.
That was me, Michael.
Hey,
So,
Michael.
what's going on, brother? All right. For myself, I would say jumping on the phone and really diving in on those calls. There's no, you know, as looking as far as the results, I haven't seen anybody that's dug into the phone and not been successful, like not only on the phone, but just improving overall. And yeah, that's a space that I could definitely step up on, improve on, be more consistent in. And yeah, that's mine.
So Michael, same question for you. Is getting on the phones and prospecting at a higher level something that you want to do, or something that you're truly committed to doing?
It's a real commitment to be successful, like fully committed.
But why? So let's dive a little bit deeper. So why? When you say this is something I want to commit to, why? Who does that affect and why?
So I mean, yes, I have my own personal ones for it, but as far as like for myself, really it's family. Like getting into that and doing what I need to do allows myself to, you know, be okay, but then also help out my mom. I mean, you know, she's, you guys know how she gets down, like she works hard, and, you know, I truly want to create her freedom and all that stuff as well. And, you know, my aunt, like she works hard, and they help me out so much. And I feel like me, you know, getting in there, generating leads, creating business for, you know, myself and ultimately the team it'll just be just help everybody else out and just make life better.
I hear you. You guys, knowing Michael Spivey and the Spivey Daniel team, what is something that you feel that Michael is truly comfortable with in his business? We see it all the time. Who wants to speak on that?
Michael's videos are slamming. I need to up my game on video. It is so professional, Michael, what you have, the content that you create out there. People are watching it for sure. And that's what stands out for Michael for me. And he is well-spoken.
Totally. Michael, so it's time for you, because here's the thing. A lot of us are not comfortable like you are with editing, with recording, with creating content. Some of us struggle with that portion of our business, and that's something that you have done very well. There's other team members, you know, and particularly on this call, that love getting on the phones, right? They absolutely love getting on the phones. And so we've had this conversation probably almost a year ago. You're like, well, what do I say? You know, what do I do? All I want you to do is obviously commit to it, but then set a plan for yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to go into the lead pond and I'm going to make 20 calls a day. And I'm going to let my fellow brothers and sisters on the group coaching call, let them know what I experienced and what I accomplished, and have them all help to keep you accountable, brother, because you're never going to learn how to become a great closer on the phone if you don't dive in. And you have tons of resources, best calls, you have all the scripts in the world that you need. But at the end of the day, man, if you're not getting in there and actually doing the reps, you're never going to grow that skill set. Because what you've done with your video creation has been incredible. It's been amazing watching your guys' growth in content. Imagine if you put similar commitments into the way that you make phone calls and the frequency of your phone calls, man, you would see your business take off even more than it already has taken off. So Michael, appreciate you being vulnerable and stepping up and talking in this environment. Who else wanted to share something? Because there's two people that came in at the same time.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can't. Is that Ernesto?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm driving. Is my audio good?
So it's not good right now. So let's come back to you because it's a little spotty.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Who else wanted to step in?
It was me.
Oh, hi, PK. Go ahead.
Hi. So for the past 90 days, which is pretty much the length of my real estate career, I've been wanting to really get into listing conversations. But to your question, I ask myself if that was a commitment, 100% commitment, or something I wanted. I think it was something I wanted, to be honest. It wasn't something that I was really committed to doing.
Yeah.
And just being real with myself, because I keep putting this pressure on myself to do something that I'm not, like, maybe not ready for, or maybe not, you know, truly committed to doing yet. And then I disappoint myself. And then, you know, it's just like this cycle of almost like negativity that turns around, that doesn't really allow me to do what I'm good at now or what I'm excited about doing now. So I think for me, one of the buyers I was able to connect with and went into contract last week, I found her on Clubhouse. And, you know, these conversations, the hours that I was putting on Clubhouse, educating people and, like, you know, meeting with them, answering questions, like, it produced business for me. So now that I understand that, like, the truth of it, you know, it's like, I want to commit to doing that versus like pushing myself to get on cold calls, because that's not my strong suit. You know, like, I do that one day a week and then I'm like, oh gosh, like, I suck at this, or I don't like this. So I'm not like excited about it.
Yeah.
So now I'm like trying to commit myself to get back to what I'm really good at, which is like Clubhouse and the organic conversations, and just like, yeah, just keeping it a little bit more on the organic social side if I can. So
I like it. And those two words that you said right now, they don't go together. Try and commitment.
Yes.
Don't go together, right? So even in the words you're saying, you have to get truly like, this is what I am committed to. Mm-hmm. This is the type of support that I need from my team members, my leaders, to help get me there. And these are the daily actions that I'm going to take to do what I'm committed to doing. It's that simple. There's no try. If I commit or when I commit, no, you make a choice, you commit, you burn the bridges, and you know what it's going to take to get there. But why we do this, sometimes we might have to revision. We might have to assess it, just like you were saying. Well, I thought I wanted to do this. Well, I really think that this is where I should be. That's part of the revision. So it's okay. It's okay to unpack, repack again. The new book of goods. Go ahead, Kenny. Sorry.
I really like, because we'll hear a lot of people, I want to get listings. I want to get listings. Why? I don't have to work with buyers as much. That's not really a big why, because all you guys, most of you guys, you do enjoy working with buyers. Of course, you want more listings because, you know, it's probably less time overall, but that's not painful enough to, I only want to get listings because I don't want to work with buyers. But I like how PK brought up the leading indicators of like the actions taken to achieve that result. So it's not because I'm not doing work with buyers. It's just you want longer business, but then you're pinpointing down to the actions you do need to take. To me, people just throw a big thing out there and you don't have any steps to do that. I mean, even with that Clubhouse thing, I dive a little deeper because, you know, I was with you on Clubhouse hours a week. My whole Sundays is some 6 to 8 hours on there, and it started having a declining return on my business. But that was build a lot of followers, so that was definitely worth the time. No regrets on it. But I think it does make sense to be on it, but be more
mindful.
Have a reason to be on it. You're not just scrambling through rooms. You know, have hyper intention of what you're trying to achieve and that you're trying to add and connect with.
Totally. Absolutely. 100%.
I love that. Yes.
Who else wants to take that question? Ernesto, you want to try? Yes.
Yeah. Way better. Okay. I just want to quickly touch on something that Kenny actually just mentioned. I know you guys are going to a Tony Robbins event, and I really learned this from him. So people will do more to avoid pain than to obtain pleasure. And so fitness examples, everyone says they want a six-pack, everyone says they want big biceps, but a lot of people don't want to go to the gym. And so as it relates to like what we're talking about now, it's not just about the wants. It's not about like who you want to help, like the nice things you want to do for your family. I think it's also important to talk about what Kenny just said is pain. Like, what happens if you don't do these things? Who suffers? How hard do they suffer? Where's your life in the next year, 5, 10? Because you're not willing to do the things that you know that if you did would make you successful. When you kind of really hone in on that pain and what happens if you don't do what you know you're supposed to do, then it becomes real. You know, I was talking with some friends last night about a friend that we have who's really, really overweight, and he is 35 years old, and we had an honest conversation. That man will not live to see 45 in his size. So it's not about him wanting a family and wanting to find a woman that will love him and look past his weight challenges. The dude's straight up gonna die.
Yeah,
so hopefully that resonates with some of us.
It's powerful. And think about this. We had this conversation the other day. The guy that was presenting for us is 54 years old, probably has like 4% body fat, like is just a freak of nature. But you have to ask yourself this: am I working out of urgency or am I working out of panic? Think about that for a minute, right? If Ernesto's friend right now gets sick, what is he working out of? He's working out of panic. Oh shit, I might die, right? The urgency is I'm going to work out every single day because I want to feel good. I want to have a life. I want to be able to live longer and create a lifestyle for my family. Like, right? Like, are you guys working out of urgency? Are you working out of true panic mode, right? Urgency is where we should be living. Urgency is where we need to stay. That's where we need to operate from, you guys. That's where the beauty of this conversation is. It's working out of urgency. So Cynthia, let's have you dive in on this. I know you have something to say. And by the way, your video was super, super inspirational. Loved it, watched it twice. And so let's have you answer that same question.
Thank you. It's actually Melody has been really pushing me to do video, and I appreciate that so much. So you may not be doing it, Mel, but you're pushing me to do it. And that speaks volumes for sure. Shit, Elias, I was worried you were going to call on me because I'm like doing breathing practices to slow down my heart rate because it gets me fired up. My commitment was to, in my first round of Zillow Squad, to have 3 closed transactions from Zillow. And I think I've voiced this before. I'm super tough on myself and I haven't had any deals closed. So I keep asking, like, what am I doing wrong? What am I not pushing hard enough on? Is it my consultations? That's what I'm having a hard time with. I don't know what the other questions were because I keep kind of like trying to figure out how to do breathing techniques to calm down. I haven't done it. I'm committed to it. I'm picking up the phone when I can, but it hasn't happened yet.
You have a 4% conversion rate. So if you want to close 3 deals, you should be working. You should have took 75 calls already. Have you took 75 calls?
Nope, not even close.
Yeah. So there you go. That's why I mean, 4%. So like every 25 calls you take, you should, on the team's average and national average is 1 deal out of every 25 calls. So you haven't even gotten close to that. That's why you haven't hit your goal.
Yeah, so that's a commitment that you don't really have enough data to even say, did I reach this commitment or not? You're not there yet, right? Or did I hit my 3 transactions in a certain amount of time because I was committed to that? I worked my sphere, I worked my farm, I worked the phones, and I also worked Zillow Flex. I don't have enough data for me to reflect my commitment on that yet, but you could look at your business as a whole. And I think right now your business has grown in the last couple months, right? So
totally, yeah, no doubt, yeah.
You don't have.
Thank you for giving us. Thanks for giving us the permission to do revisions. I didn't. Shit, I'm like, oh, okay, I can revise this, and now hearing more data that I don't have the data, I'm like, okay, chill, girlfriend. Like, you don't need to be hyperventilating on Monday morning.
That's right. Well, I'm glad that you're doing these breathing techniques. I remember like being a public speaker and like I had to do breathing techniques as well. So you guys, I want to wrap up a little bit early today because I'm actually heading to Walnut Creek to do video shoots with Melody, the Spivey Daniel team, and Jason Ellis. So you guys, we're obviously fueled up with all kinds of great information. What you're going to see from myself and from, you know, the other leaders is that we're going to help hold you accountable in your own way. We're going to have accountability groups that are going to be, you know, self-led, meaning you guys are going to come together in these groups and there's going to be a series of questions. There's going to be, you know, opt in or opt out. And if somebody's not doing what they said they're committed to doing, then they don't have to be in the group anymore. I'm not saying that we're not going to support their business overall, but hey, you don't have to be in this accountability group. So we're going to start rolling things out just to help you guys have an additional layer to help you guys hit these commitments. And so a lot to be said in 45 minutes. I get that, I know, but let's do this. I want to hear some of your guys' takeaways from today's session because I really, really appreciate you guys' thoughts on this. So let's just go around the room and hear some takeaways. Let's go over to Kevin. Kevin, takeaways from today's session.
My takeaway was to just get more granular, I think, with my micro commitments on how I'm going to get to those goals. Right. I think I don't break it down enough in steps, which is stupid because I know as an athlete, like you got to like get your shoulders stronger before you're going to, you know, throw the ball farther, like just things like that. Right. So that I think that's where I need to really focus on my micro commitments to get to the end goal.
Dude, I love that analogy. And I mean, you said it perfectly, right? How am I going to throw 50 yards if I've never even thrown 50 yards? And now it's game time. I'm trying to throw 50 yards, man. So yeah, warming up that shoulder, bro. Good stuff. Let's go over to Roxanne.
Hey, I had a great takeaway from PK. PK talked about like mostly focusing on what you like and what you're good at. I like that because she kind of took me back to where I'm at. Like, I don't like the cold calling, like it's uncomfortable. Even thinking about doing it, I don't want to do it. So I put it to the side, right? Well, I don't actually do it, but I would put it to the side because I don't want to do it. But if you focus on doing what you love and you master what you love, I feel like you could just take that one avenue and just go straight to the sky with it.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Joaquin, how about for you? Takeaways from today's session?
Yeah, I think, you know, really working on your strengths, right? Acknowledging, being self-aware of your weaknesses, whether you put it to the side or you work on them. I think that's great. And I really like the analogy that Kenny kicked it off with, where you know, we have to treat this like a sport, right? You know, like I'm a big sports fan, not just like football, but also fighting. And these guys are training so much. And I have to really look at my business like that, really look at everything that's involved and just try to master each little section as much as I can. So I love it. This is a great meeting.
So, and to think about that, let's take UFC fighters, let's take boxers, right? There, maybe a fight is 15 minutes, right? If it's a championship fight, we have 3 rounds, 15 minutes. How long are they training for that, right?
6 months.
Right, 6 months, maybe even longer, going to elevation, run into elevation, right? To get paid those big dollars, right? Why? Because there's a certain time frame that they need to have these things done in, right? So, you know, what is it? Football, 16 home games or 16 games throughout the season, then go to playoffs, go to the Super Bowl, right? They work the entire year for 16 games, right? You guys have to think about yourself in the same way. You guys all have to think about yourself as a pro athlete mentality. We're not amateurs in this business. Let's hear from a couple other people before we head out. Jack, let's hear from you, my man. Takeaways from today's session.
Sorry, I was just asking Melody to mute hers. I would say, honestly, I think the biggest takeaway I got today was Cynthia's. I think after hearing her trying to get like 3 little flex deals done and like the first like squad thing, I mean, that's kind of how I felt as well. Like when I first came on, I was like, okay, like let me just try to do 5. Now that like I'm trying to do 12, I'm like, okay, I just gotta get every deal as it can. But I mean, I'm trying to take into realization now, like, you know, like it's not urgency, like I still got like 6 months, but like I still just, you know, grinding and session and stuff. But it's good just to know that like I'm not alone, because I feel the exact same way as Cynthia.
Good. I love that. And you need to ask yourself, you guys, remember this. Do I want this, or am I truly committed to having this? It's a mindset shift, excuse me. It's a total shift. Do I want this? Yeah, I do want that. Or am I fucking so committed to this that I'm going to make it happen in my life? Let's hear from one last person. Let's go over to Donna. Donna, thanks for being here. I know you took a break from saving the world. So Donna, let's hear from you. Takeaways from today's session.
I think it was your analogy. There's no try and commit, right? They both either committed or, you know, I think that was it. Kenny had said that he is working on the newsletter that he was working on for a while, that people miss that. I mean, like we're on his database, and I was just doing the same. I was thinking, you know, I have a huge database that I have. So I'm committed to doing 5, right? 15 minutes a day. I know it's because we've got 6 buyers, we're working with 3 listings. It's tedious, right? So we're leveraging the team and learning to be committed. 15 minutes of commitment, block it out. Sisu, I've committed. Timer, it comes off. It shows me, oh damn, I got to put in my Sisu info, or else that week it just doesn't go, it doesn't get input. So commitment, that's my takeaway for sure.
Beautiful. You guys, we're going to be diving, you know, deep into these conversations. But I really appreciate you guys for getting up in the morning, being here, being present, and really, really, you know, diving in, because that's what coaching is all about, right? It's about you guys getting better together, right? And us going out there and saying, you know what is one thing I took from that session that I can apply in my life and my business? And you know, Cynthia said it. She's like, this is not just about group coaching. Yeah, we go over scripts and we go over the market, but this is pushing us as humans to become better, which is one of the most challenging things to do. And so I appreciate you guys. Obviously, Kenny and I are fueled up, and this is just probably this much of our 20 pages of notes. And so we're looking forward to really, you know, growing, building on the culture, restating what our vision is as a company, where we're going, so everybody knows. Because you may know our vision if you started with us a year ago. Maybe if you're brand new, you might not know what that true vision of Fast Real Estate is and what we were going to accomplish in this world. And so it's about restating, so we're always on the same page as a company and as a team. So we appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for everything that you contribute to these groups. And you guys, by the way, we hit a record today. We're at 42 people at one time for group coaching. And it started out, and I have chills just saying that, we started out 7 to 10 people on an average. Now we hit a record today. So thank you guys for contributing in a huge way. Melody, I'll see you in just a couple minutes, or 45 minutes. Have a great day, you guys.